Hello there and welcome back. In this video we are also going to continue with the Wooey journey, and I would like to show you how you can set up a Python script to execute a playbook against a Windows machine. So I have this Windows 2022 machine, and after it boots we are going to install dependency modules and stuff like that. So if we shoot the Ansible -- version on the Linux machine, you will be able to see that it is using Python 3.11. And if I go to the Python 3.11 and check the pip freeze, you can see that it does not have pip installed. And what I would like to do is to use the get pip to install pip, or just bootstrap it. So let's use wget. So sudo yum install wget. All right. So ping google.com, and it doesn't have it. -r0. Let's restart it and wait for it to boot. So until then, what we can do on the Windows machine is to set up the authentication. So currently I have an administrator user, and what I have to do is to configure basic authentication. How many browsers do I have open? Okay. So in order to do that, I'm going to run the command line as administrator. So right click, run as administrator, and I have to issue a couple of commands. Let's switch to PowerShell, and here we can use the set execution policy unrestricted, and we use the winrm quick config -q. We set up the Windows remote management. What is it? Azure Arc. Oh, nice. I don't need it. So then what we can do is to use the winrm set winrm config service at allow unencrypted equal to true, and we want to use the authentication to be set to basic equals true. All right, then now we can use the netstat.tan with the find str 5995 or 5985. Yeah, you can see that the winrm started to listen. Great. Now let's get back to the CentOS 8b and use the sudo su yum install wget -y. Okay, now we have internet, and let's see if I have the Win2022A setup. I have it. So the first thing that I have to do is to install getpip. I will use wget to download it, and then use the 3.11 to install getpip. Okay, great. And now we have to use the 3.11 -m pip install py-winrm, and this should install the dependencies needed by Ansible to authenticate against a Windows machine with basic authentication over WinRM. Great, now we have to go ahead and edit our Ansible host file, and under the Windows we add the Win 2022A. What happened here? So Win 2022A, and if I issue the Ansible -m ping Win 2022A, it is not going to work because I made a typo with the module. But apart from that, it is also not going to work because this is not a Linux system. So if I want to authenticate against a Windows system, usually the Ansible modules come with the Win underscore prefix. And the ping is working, okay, but it is not going to work because currently it doesn't know how to authenticate against this machine. Let's solve that. Failed to connect to SSH, and that's the reason. So now we have to create a group file or group variable under the, let's call this sudo mkdir /c ansible group wars, and with the vi we will call this win.yaml. And technically our Ansible user is going to be administrator, and the Ansible password is going to be rapture16, and the Ansible connection is going to be WinRM, and the Ansible WinRM transport is going to be basic. And this should take care of part of our problems. What we also have to do is to create a group and say that the Windows machines are its children. So win : Windows, and win children and Windows. Okay, so now if we go back and try to ping it, it should come back with an appropriate response, unless we also have to specify the port. Ansible port. Ansible port. Alright, so it tried to go there in the 5986, and we have to go and edit the Ansible group wars win.yaml and say that the Ansible port is 5985. Now let's go back and we get the response success. Alright, so what would we like to do with this? Let's say we want to create a playbook, and with this playbook we want, is it working? Working. Alright. We want to go and check I have 2 of these. Test service, no service. Ansible mastery. Playbooks. Port strategies, test roles, win args. What is it? Let's create a folder. That's literally a simple task. So what do we have here? Yeah, let me just add it this way, close this one, and go back to the machine a little bit. So here we have no temp folder. Let's create one. I said let's create one. And now go to our playbook. So vi create folder. Am I at the right? No, please. So vi create folder, or rather manage folder .yaml. So we will have a host which comes from the host name. And we, on Windows platform, we do not need to worry about becoming, and we don't need effects. And the tasks are going to be manage folder under C temp with state. So now if I go back to my browser and check it, we have this win file with the path and the state. So let's go back here and say win file, path is going to be C temp and folder, and the state is going to be state. Okay, let's give it a test drive. So Ansible playbook manage folder -e hostname 2022a, and folder is going to be custom, and the state is going to be directory. Okay, it executed, and now we can see that we have this custom, and let's give it an absent. Alright, it should have been deleted. Great. So now what we have to do is to create our Python script. So let's navigate to the demo folder and copy the manage package to the manage folder.py. So here we have the argument parsing part and the import and managing folders, where you want to manage the folder, Let me switch off my camera, and the folder you want to manage, and the state, which is the state of the folder, and it should be absent or directory. And now we want to make sure that the argument is also different. So let's call this folder. Okay, and here we have the playbook, and this should point to the manage folder, and this is the host name, and this should be the folder, and this should also be the folder, and the state can be left there, and action item. All right, so now let's say we want to reuse the playbook. Manage package, instead of that manage folder, and Windows 2022A, and the folder should be demo, and the state should be directory. Okay. Come on. Sorry. So Python 3.6, and the host name should be Win2022, and the folder should be demo, and the state should be directory. Python manage folder. All right, so now it returned that it was okay, and if we go back to our Windows machine, you can see the folder is there, and it should be absent. Great. So now what I have to do is to activate my virtual environment and use the 3.6 manage.py, add script, manage folder. Great. So now if I go back to my browser and refresh Wooey, you can see that we have the manage folder, hostname Win2022A, woohoo, and the state should be directory, and creating folder, and submit it. What is going on? SSE sent to 8B, system CTL status, Wooey, salary. Oh, it's not running. Okay, it's running, and now it's executing, and you can see that the folder was created, and here we have our folder. Let's try to delete the folder Win2022A, and woohoo, absent, submit. And technically, that's it. We have the playbook, and it's really similar, or yeah, it's pretty similar as to how it works with the Linux counterpart. So you figure out the playbook, what you want to do, and you craft the script based on the playbook's arguments, and you can simply combine the flexibility of Python and Ansible. And yeah, that was all I wanted to show you in this video. If you like this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. See you in the next one.